You're absolutely beautiful, you. Look at you. You're fantastic, you. I love you. I love the bones of you, I do. You think it's too quick, don't you? Ah, but you can't see yourself, I'm in love with you. I'm not joking, I've seen some women, but you. Let's get back to what you are. Beautiful. Did you just smile at them? Did someone turn the lights on? You're beautiful, you. You stand for beauty. You sit for it too. Look at how you sit, you. Like a glamour model, that's how. You. You're quiet though. But I love that in a girl, I love that, don't get me wrong. You're beauty, you. Beauty itself. You're marvellous, as well as being beautiful too, you. Yeah, too good for this place to say that. What's a beautiful girl like you doing in a place like this? What are they saying? Is that what they say? Yeah, who cares now? Who cares now, eh? You are a star. And you don't even know it. A star before you starve. Everything about you is just, you are it. The beauty of all times. You're just beautiful and that's it, done. Finished it. Because you're the most beautiful thing ever brought to this earth. And you're for me, you. You are for me. There's no bones about it, none. None. And here's the back of my hand and here's a pen. Number please, number. Before I stop breathing.
Didn't mean to wake her. I was on the run. A slave running from his master. I had no reason to run. My master's not a bad man, but it just got to me. Like a voice, nagging me, day and night. Run, it said. Break loose. Be a free man, whose words burning in me like a fever. The only way to stop it was to run. So I ran, and I kept on running. I left behind the places where people lived, made for the wastes where I wouldn't be found, crags and boulders, wave crashing over cliffs. And there, on a cliff top, a hill, smooth and round, a huge rock set on one side. There was a hole in the rock, just big enough to squeeze through. I crept inside, followed a low passageway sloping downwards. Then I saw a dim light ahead, glimmering in the dark. Crept closer, came to a stone doorway. The light came from beyond it, so I stepped through. And I was in a vast cavern, and it was filled with gold. Lay there before me, a huge creature quailed beside the treasure. Its scales shone in the light of the gold. The gold shone in the light of the scales. It didn't move. Its eyes were closed. It seemed to be sleeping. I crept closer. Heat that came off it, like it was some kind of furnace. Water dripping from the roof rose up in clouds of steam. I reached my hand out towards it. I felt power. The energy packed inside it. A little nearer and I could have touched it. My fingertips, just that far off. I didn't touch it. Drew my hand back, crept out of the cavern and made my way back to the entrance. I was outside again. Sunlight and fresh air. I stood on the cliff top. I heard the sea below. It was only then that I realised what I had done. I looked down and saw it. I swear, I don't know how it got there. I don't remember taking it. There it was. In my hand. A golden cup. And the dragon woke.
The raven himself is hoarse. It croaks at the fatal entrance of Duncan, under my battlements. Come, you spirits, those that tend on mortal thoughts, and unsex me here. Fill me from the crown to the toe of direst cruelty. Step up the passage and the accesses to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shall stop my fatal access, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my womanly breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pile thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, so that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peek from the blanket of darkness to cry, hold, hold.
I know you can hear me. I know you can hear my thoughts, even my worst ones. Maybe mostly my worst ones. I thought about what you said, about how I wanted my brother to die. I thought you were just trying to upset me, to anger me. But you weren't, were you? You were just telling the truth. Billy, he made my life a living hell, every chance he got. And so, sometimes, I would lie in bed at night, and I would pray. I would pray that something had happened to him, something awful. I knew that he drove too fast, so I would imagine him crashing, dying in that stupid car. I just wanted him out of my life, forever. I wanted him to disappear. The day that he died, I think that's why I just stood there, watched. Not because I was scared or weak, but because I didn't know if he deserved to be saved. And I've tried to forgive myself. I've tried, but I can't. I can't. And so that's why I'm here. Because I just want you to take me away. I want you to make me disappear.
This is how it starts. 1 minute, you're just another annoying second grader. And your mom takes you and your brother to a friend's house out in the country. You get out of the car and you see this big yellow dog wagging his tail at you. And your mom and your brother get out of the car and go to ring the doorbell. And you get out of the car and you kind of fall to your knees as you're petting this friendly big dog. And suddenly the dog's jaw snaps and your life as you know it ends. The dog never barked, never growled. He followed after me. Still friendly and still playful. Blood pouring from the holes of my face. He's looking at me, just wagging his tail. My mother, she screams in horror. She grabs my jacket from the car and tells me, hold it tightly against your face. I was crying. I was so panicked. I felt like I was choking. At the hospital, the nurses were mopping up blood, asking me all kinds of questions, trying to establish how much of my face was left. I remember a bright light and the disembodied voices of my parents and the doctors trying to keep the patient calm. When they fixed my face, I was preparing for a Halloween mask, for a horror movie, for a nightmare. It wasn't. It's just a neat row of stitches. They cleaned up all the blood. I was gonna be okay. But then I got to school. That's when the real trauma began.
Here comes somebody. Here comes an old man with a cane, got a newspaper under his arm, and a little brown bag. Probably has some Squibb's mineral oil in that brown bag. Maybe a jar of Planter's peanut butter and a loaf of Freihopper's bakery bread. Oh, gonna make himself some nice thick peanut butter sandwiches. You say something, mister? You speaking to me? Maybe you're hungry. Maybe that's it. You working up an appetite? Listen to me talking about the delicious peanut butter sandwiches that old man is gonna make? Treat's gonna be home real soon now. Make you, tuna sandwich. Starkey's tuna with mayo on toast. How's that sound? I knew you'd like that. I've been eating Starkey's tuna for lunch for years now. I used to make myself peanut butter sandwiches, but I got sick of them. I like variety in my food. Whoa, look at that, mister. Two girls walking by. Ooh, you're really something. One's got on real tight dungarees. The other's got on a skirt. I like the one with them tight dungarees. Only thing is now, mister, there's a shoe out there now. Shoe staring me straight in the face, driving me crazy. Listen, mister. If I go out there now and bring back that shoe, you're not gonna tell anyone, are you? Because Treat has a hell of a temper, especially if he's crossed. He was in and out of the house of detention when we were kids. But him and me are brothers. Only thing is, mister, I ain't supposed to go out. Because I have this terrible allergy, allergic to almost everything. Plants, grass, trees, pollen. I almost died once. Went over to Lincoln's restaurant on the corner of Broad and Olney with Treat. Yeah, you know, my face got red, my tongue swelled up. I was gasping for breath. I got it, mister. I'll hold my breath so as I don't have to breathe in any of that deadly pollen. I can trust you. Can't I, mister? You're gonna keep your mouth shut, ain't you? All right. What are you doing over there, mister? You're not supposed to be over there. How'd you get over there? I don't think Treat is gonna like this. You're supposed to be over here. The only thing is, I'm supposed to touch you. I'm only supposed to watch and make sure that everything's okay. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do now, mister. Treat's gonna be home real soon now and ask, how come you're over there? And
I love big men. Big, quiet, strong men. That's all I want. I like to tend to them. I like to have grace and floor around them. I like their temple arms and pillar legs and synagogue chests and big tongue and teeth like an elephant's ear. And big carved faces like an actual cliffside and Roman emperor bonework. And you can really dig deep into them, can't you? And there's so much. Gargantuan man, like a Roman emperor, with a voice he hardly uses. But when he does, it's all rumbling under his breastplate. So big, big hands, big everything. Like sleeping by a mountainside. It's a thrill. If you see him run, say, for a bus pounding up the pavement, good, big man, thick blood through tubular veins, squirting and washing them out. Must be like a bloody big red canvas car wash in there, innit? With all his organs and bits hanging from rib roof, getting a good daily drenching in that good red blood. They're so bloody big, you think he'll never die, and that's another reason you want them bloody oxmen.
Hercules, Thor, Chuck Connors. Come on, bow your heads and take from my ickle hands. Let me groom and coddle you, and urge you, yes. Let me gather all ye big men of our isles, urge you up and lead you across America. You myth men, big men love you.
So I'm on the bus, and it's busy, but I got a seat. I'm sitting there. I'm just sitting there. And the bus is calm. You know, it's got that feeling like when everyone's like happy. And the bus stops. You can feel it shake, sort of shudder a little. And this white guy gets on. And he sounds maybe, I don't want to presume, but he sounds maybe like he's been drinking, which is weird because it's early. And he comes up the stairs and his face is like red. You know, and he's got this look on it that's like you do not want to mess with him because the look on his face is. And everyone's silent because we know. We can just feel it, the way the air is. And there's this boy, he's sitting a few seats up, and he's just sitting there, minding his own, and you can see this guy he's looking for. He's really looking for a fight, and this boy is like paying him no attention, like listening to music. He's got these flowers in his hand, these yellow flowers. And so this guy walks up to him and is like, move. Just like that, and you can see this boy is like, because he hasn't been anticipating. You know, he's just sitting there, he's on his way, meet a friend, maybe a date, I don't know, but whatever this is, he hasn't got the time. And what I haven't told you is that this boy is black. And I don't know if that's why, because this guy, he sort of seems like the kind of guy that might, I'm doing all this math in my head. This other guy, he says it again to the boy, goes, move. And he looks at him, his face close to his face, and the boy goes, no. Just like that, calm but firm. And the guy, you can see his face contorting because he's not the kind of guy that looks like people really say that to him that often. And so he says it again, move! But this time he spits it. And the whole bus is like charged, all of us holding our breath because we know that it's on us. You know that it's on us to do something, it's on us. And there's another boy, a different boy sat next to me. You can feel his whole body tighten. He hasn't seen anything like this. He didn't know the world could look like this. You can feel it, you can tell. And the boy with the flowers just looks at the guy standing there above him. He looks at him calmly and he reaches out and touches his face. Just gentle, he touches his face. And the guy, he just.
I loved someone once. And the person I loved, I lost. He was a boy, just a boy. When I was a very young girl, when I was 16, I made the discovery, love. And felt it all at once, but much too completely. It was like you'd suddenly turned a blinded light on something that had always been in half shadow. That's how it struck the world for me. But I was unlucky, deluded. There was something different about the boy, a nervousness, a softness, a tenderness which wasn't like a man's. Although he wasn't the least bit effeminate looking, still, that thing was there. He came to me for help. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything until after our marriage, when we'd run away and come back. And all I knew was that I'd failed him in some mysterious way. I couldn't give him the help that he needed but couldn't speak quicksand, clutching at me. But I wasn't holding him out. He was pulling me in with him, and I didn't know that. I didn't know anything except that I loved him unendurably, but without being able to help him help myself. Then I found out, in the worst, all possible ways, by coming suddenly into a room that I thought was empty, which wasn't empty, but had two people in it. The boy I had married, and an older man that had been his friend for years. Afterwards, we pretended like nothing had ever been discovered. Yeah. Yes, the three of us, we drove down to Moon Lake Casino, very drunk, laughing all the way. Yeah. We danced the Varsavona. Suddenly, in the middle of the dance, the boy I had married broke away from me and ran out of the casino. Moments later, a shot. I ran out. All ran out to this terrible thing that had happened at the edge of the lake. I couldn't get near for the crowd, and then someone caught my arm. He said, don't go any closer. Come back, you don't want to see. See? See what? And then I heard voices crying, Alan, the grey boy. He took the revolver, he stuck it in his mouth, and he shot. So the back of his head had been blown away. And it was because on the dance floor, unable to stop my stupid mouth, I said, I know, you disgust me. Never, not for one moment since has there ever been a light stronger than this kitchen candle.
Wait, no, don't tell me. Sorry, that's such a stupid thing to tell me, you know. You can talk to me. I won't judge, whatever it is. Whatever I won't. Is it me? Not that I mean, it wouldn't matter if you weren't actually, so. You're thinking about me? What good things, Phil? Or, I mean, are you thinking a negative thing about... I'm not bothered, Phil. I'm not. I don't care, you know? Well, I could talk too much. Is that it? That I talk too much? You sitting there in absolute silence thinking, Lee talks too much. I wish you shut up once in a while. Is that it? Because don't, judge. Because alright, I do. There, I said it. I am admitting I talk too much. So shoot me, so kill me, Phil. Lock me up, pull my teeth out with a pair of rusty pliers. I talk too much. Because you're not perfect, actually, Phil. There, I've said it. You're a bit... You're... Do I discuss it? I do. No, I do. No, don't. Because it's alright, it's fine. I'm not gonna, or whatever. It's not the collapse of me. I could walk out of here. Yeah. There are friends. I've got friends. I mean, I haven't got friends, not exactly, but I could if I wanted. If I wanted, give them the perfect, circumstances. So don't, because you haven't either. It's not like you're Mr. Popular, sitting there, all... nothing. Scares. There, I've said it. Scared. Scared, Phil. I'm scared. They scare me. This place. Everyone. The fear that everyone here, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one, Phil. I'm not the only one saying it. The fear that everyone here lives in. The brutal terror. It scares me, okay? And I'm not ashamed. Yes, I am ashamed, but I'm not ashamed of my shame, Phil. Give me that much credit at least. Thank you. Everyone's scared. It's not just me. So don't get bother. You need me as much as... What are you thinking?
She came down here at night. I know I shouldn't have come, but I can't stop myself. I know she came here, she sat here, swam in there. She's not in the house anymore. I used to look for her. I found things she touched. A piece of paper with handwriting. I found a shoe in the garden. A dress she'd worn. Hadn't been washed. I want to tell you this thing, but I don't want you to look at me. Look away. That's it. But if you look at me, I'll stop. I used to think that everyone had dead bodies in their houses. I'd go in the room where he got them ready. He caught me once, looking at the powder used on the skin to tighten it. I was going to use it on you, but he took it from me, said it was only for dead skin. I started going down at night. And if we had one in, the sheet from their faces. I used to think that if I stared at them long enough, I could bring them back to life, make them breathe again. One night, there was a new one. Took the sheet, peeled it back, stood and stared. It was my mother. No, don't look at me! It happened late at night, and no one had woken me to tell me that's how I found out. Streaked with mud, her hair still damp from the river, a piece of weed in it. I stood there, tried to make her breathe again, tried to make her chest move. Nothing happened. So I reached out. Her hands up to get her to open her eyes and look at me! But her eyes had rolled back and there was just the whites. I tried pulled the lids back down. They'd stuck. I had to go upstairs into my dad's room. I had to tell him to come with me and see what I'd done. He followed me down and I showed him. He saw, and then he turned to me, grabbed my arm, too tight. He shook me, and then he screamed at me, told me I shouldn't have gone in, and then he hit me. Yeah. Some things that happen to you, you get them in here, you can't get them out. I just wish you could take it out, so I didn't have to remember it.
Howdy. They all think I'm quiet, but there's a very good reason for that. I'm having a very lovely time with my wife. She's dead, but she's still with me. Not like a ghost, or any of that old cack. It's more like a feeling. Don't go. I'm not mad. God knows. Sometimes, when the feeling's not there, I can usually bring it on. By touching our old teapot, brown pot. And then something will start. Brewing, warm, sweet, soft as her cotton hair. Then it deepens. She's here now. Nice. She was here before, but it's more better now. It's like being held, the comfort of it, and nothing else. She's gone now. So that's how we go about our days, seeing each other. Oh, and how we do soak ourselves in each other sometimes. So deep I can hardly stand from my chair. That's how I think I'll go one day. I'll just tag on with them, leave. And then, when somebody comes round to our house, they'll find my empty shell. Life's just passing her out, isn't it? Very nice and all that. Very comfortable. Ta-ta.
Does anyone have any water?
No, it wasn't. Shut up. Her bag was open. Her bag was open. We were sitting on the bus, right? As normal, just chatting about the credit card and whether my mum would notice if we'd used hers or whether she'd just think it was my brother again. And she lets him off everything because she's scared of trying, again, if she says a word. And we were saying that even if we had that sorted, there's still the matter of the hostel and the bus into London and the 535, and we're just talking about that and what we're going to do when I looked over and saw sitting opposite. She's reading a book. It wasn't the Bible, it was Narrating Keys, but she was reading it. Totally involved. And there was this big wedge of cash just there, just out in the open, like anyone could have, there's a load of it. Must have just been in the bank or something, and I didn't plan it. Like, I didn't really think about it even. I just did it. I reached over and I put my hand inside the bag, like, really, really quietly, and no one was noticing. Yeah, she just grabs my hand out of nowhere, and I tried to pull away, but I had the money and I couldn't get her off, and the bus had stopped and the doors were open, but because she was screaming so much, the driver was trying to close them and push ourselves through. And right to the last second, she was clinging onto my hand, trying to pull out the money, and I didn't push her. I just gave her a little shove. And by that time, the driver got out and he was shouting something after us, but I didn't look back. Because if I looked back, I would have panicked. So we just legged it, and when the woman kept screaming and screaming, but we just kept running and running until we got here.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou, fatal vision, as sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way which I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes make fools of all the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon, gouts of blood, which were not there before. There's no such thing. 'Tis the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Over one half world, nature seems dead. Wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarum by the sentinel, the wolf, who howls his watch, and thus his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. How sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, hear not which way they walk, for fear the very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time which now suits it. While I fret, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done.
the bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for 'tis a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell.
So it's Tuesday, and I'm stood there on this train platform, and it's rush hour, busy, so it's early, like 20 to 8 or something. That time in the morning when the sun's not fully up and the air feels still, almost wet somehow. And I wouldn't normally even be on this platform because normally my mum, she gives me a lift, but ever since she and my dad, since they're like split, I've been getting the train when I stay at my dad's house. So I'm standing there on this train platform and I can feel all these bodies, and it's like they're too close somehow, too much, because I can feel them. It's like we're one organism, one thing, moving, breathing. We're tight. And I look to my left, and out of the corner of my eye I can see this boy, my age maybe, or younger, and he's bouncing this ball, this small, like, tiny ball. And he stood at the back of the platform listening to music on his headphones, not really concentrating. And I look at the clock, and it says 7:42, and I know that the train is coming because, although I can't see it, I get that feeling in my legs, sort of vibrating. And the air is changing on the platform, it's sort of sucking us. And I look to my right, and there's this woman next to me. She's holding these flowers, yellow. And she's moving, she's pushing her way just a little bit. And I don't think anything, and the boy at the back is still bouncing this ball, bouncing and catching, bouncing and catching. And I look at the clock, and it's 7:43, and the train is coming because I can see the lights now. It's sort of pulling, and the feeling in my legs is now in my stomach, and the platform is getting ready. It's like we're getting ready to fight because we're not all getting on. And the boy at the back is still bouncing this ball, and suddenly there's this moment, this feeling where I know exactly what's going to, but it's too late because the ball is already and the train is already, and I feel the ball hit me, and it's like there's this rip, like this tear in the universe, because none of this is supposed to. I look up and see this butterfly, this tiny, fragile thing, sort of hovering, suspended somehow for a moment. And then I feel it, the force, I'm falling, sort of spinning through space, and I look to my right, and the train, it screeches, sort of staggers. I look to my right, and the woman, she's not there. The flowers are, and the boy is looking at his hands, he's looking at his empty hands, and the woman, she's just.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your patience. Without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Nye.
Hello. Thank you. It was very hard sat on a chair. But I appreciate the applause. You guys were awesome. Just like before any of it, you're all going to do really well if this is the career option that you're going to pick. And I'll just say something somebody said to me, if you can do something else, do it. If you can't, really go for it. Yeah. Best piece of advice I can give. It's Tim Stedman who told me that from Margaret Panto many years ago. So yeah, I'll credit that to him. You're all going to do really well. I'm going to shut up and just start telling you. Third place was Rosie Jones. Really cracking. I love to. I love to. Great play. You did a really good job. Well done. Your physicality was awesome. You really nailed that. I had a little dig at Carol as well. I think Carol worked with you before on that, and it's really well put together. Second place goes to Charlotte. I did DNA. I played Phil.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you said he's mute and he barely says anything, I was giggling because I was like, yeah, that was pretty much most of my performance. just sat there watching someone else do all the hard work, and you did really good. You did really good work on that, and you really understood the character, and you did that was very different from the person I watched do it, and it was just as accurate, just as perfect, really good interpretation. I really enjoyed it. So well done.
Thank you.
I guess I'll do this the reverse way. The person who won took me by surprise. I wrote in my notes, RF brave, for really brave. Yeah, this was technically very good, really well thought out, really well understood. And I was just like, this person's gonna do well, is what I wrote down in my notes. And it was Gabriella.
Thank you for coming, but Lucy has one last little thing to say.
Yes, just to thank our judge again for giving us this time.
Oh, thank you.
Taking over our appreciation.
I really wasn't that busy, thank you.
So that was the first ever Ashville Young Actor of the Year. There will be many more. More chances for you to have your name engraved around the bottom. Okay? And those of you that enjoyed that, come back next year. Let's do it again. Okay? Those of you that are coming to see Joe Egg tomorrow night, same thing. Same setup, same refreshments. But bring your hankies. It's one heck of a tearjerker. Thank you and good night.